Hello Internet, my name is Ace and today I'm going to be showing you how to draw some stairs in 2-point perspective. Okay, so this is there's a few different ways to go about creating stairs in perspective. Now, one thing you can do is say if we've got, I'm just going to draw this very quick so it's not going to be very accurate, but say if we have a box in 2-point perspective like so, then one way to do it is you can just create the diagonal like that across the thing, and you can kind of eyeball it across, find those lines across to the horizon, but you can't get super accurate with that. Okay, another way that you can do it is to work out where these are going to fall. You can find the halfway point, then you can measure like this, and you can keep breaking this down, but you can't get uneven amounts of you can't go different spacings, or you're only limited to things you can divide by 2, really. I mean, there are ways to work out how to break perspective things up into obviously different things like thirds and fifths and stuff like that, but the way that I'm going to show you is we could have platforms mid stair where we can break these up any way that we want to. Now you can follow along whether you're working digital like I am, or if you're working traditionally just with a pencil and ruler. That, for perspective being accurate, kind of tends to be easier working traditional. But one thing you will need to do if you're working digital is if you go over to preciseruler.com, they have a royalty-free ruler that you can download and use as you want. And we're just going to need that for measuring spacings. Alright, so let me just create a horizon line. Like so. So we just need a horizon line. Now we'll create this below the horizon. We're kind of above the staircase, looking down somewhat at it. And so what we need to do is we need to obviously have 2 points and just build a box in 2-point perspective. Now, if you've never done that before, then don't worry too much. It's not that difficult. So we need a point on the right somewhere on the horizon line, and it doesn't have to be anywhere specific for now. There are ways to work out where the perfect horizon line are, which I have a lot of perspective videos on my channel. So if you hit the subscribe button down below, you can go see all those videos. Right, so we've got our vanishing points, one on the right, one on the left. So let me just stick this handy ruler on there, like so. I mean, there are perspective tools in Sketchbook and many of the drawing programs actually, which you can maybe play around with. I tend to do things the old-fashioned way, just because I like doing things that way. But you can do whatever you want, really. Right, so let's just build a bottom base for this box. So there we have just 2 lines coming from the left and 2 lines coming from the right, as long as they create this square type object. Now we're not worrying about distortion and things like that. I've covered that in another video. Now, how big do we want this vertical line? Well, we want to break things up quite nicely and evenly. So let me just grab this ruler. Let me rotate it 90 degrees, like so. Right. Now we want to break this into different each one of these is going to be the height of the stairs. Now, you can make this ruler smaller or larger. It's not actual inches and stuff, the way I have it set up here. So if you wanted more stairs that are smaller, you just make the ruler smaller. Okay? Right. So, sorry. We'll have, let's go for like an uneven amount. So we'll have it into 7 sections. Like so. So all we need to do is just put the 7 down there, and if you're working with a ruler in real life, you know how simple this is. Okay, then let's just measure up from here, which is at 7, all the way up to the 0 point there, which is about there. Right, okay, so we have that done. Then we just need to connect the top parts of the box. So let me, how do we hide things on here? There we go. Right, so go back to the construction. Oh, okay, that's a mistake. When you're working digitally, sorry, make sure that you're doing things on the right layer, unlike myself. In fact, what I will do is I will just, is that we lock the layer? How do we lock this layer? Ah, probably click the lock. I'll lock that so we can't make that mistake again. Right, so let's go up to the 0 point here. And then let's build the box now. Okay, so I can hide that ruler. So we've got our point there. So we need to go, so we're cutting this point through here. So this is the top part of our box. That was the 7 pretend inches. So if you're working traditional, you can break this up any way you want, as you can with digital. Right, okay, so there are our top parts there. Now we just need to connect these things and drag them back. So we need a vertical ruler. I could have drawn these verticals in earlier, but doesn't matter. So we've got vertical there, vertical about there somewhere, feels about right, and one here. Then we just need to connect the points to the back. And with perspective, I don't like speeding the videos up or anything like that. I like it. With perspective, I've said before, it's not really a motor skill like drawing is, where you need your muscle memory and everything like that building up and your visual library. It's more of just a maths problem, I guess. So it's more like knowledge rather than it is skill. So it's good to really watch this stuff, absorb it, get it into your brain as much as you can. Okay, so these points here should connect, which they do, like so. So now we have a box in which we are building our staircase from. Right, so some people will split this in half like this, build the steps off here like that, but we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it the proper way, man, okay? Right, and the proper way is, let's grab our ruler, and we've already got our mark, so what I'll do is I'll just do these in red. Obviously I don't need to mark the bottom one, we know where that is. Just put a mark here, a mark there, mark here, and you can be working in the same colour. I'm just doing it so you guys can see a little better. Okay, so now we have our points in which we need to draw back to the vanishing point already set. So we'll do that now. So let's grab our ruler again. Now, if you're not working in Sketchbook Pro and you work in digital, you can just grab the line tool and drag those back, like so, if you're working in Photoshop or whatever software you feel comfortable working in. So you don't need to work in Sketchbook Pro to be able to do this. Like I say, it's a mindset more than anything. Okay, so we're just tracing those lines back, like so. Sorry, I've got a little bit of a sore throat at the moment. Right, so there's those lines traced back into perspective. So we need to do the same for the left-hand vanishing point. So let's do that now. And like I say, there's plenty more perspective videos on my channel, because I love perspective. It's really the mathematics behind artwork, and constructing scenes and backgrounds and stuff. It's not impossible without a working knowledge of perspective, but it's definitely harder to make things look right. So we've got all those points traced back. Now, here's the complicated bit. Because the verticals don't change in perspective, the verticals are just verticals. The measurement is very easy, whereas we can't just grab a ruler along here and measure, because let's space them out somewhat evenly. If they were like that, going back, then they would appear to get larger the further back they go. So, how do we do it? Right, let's grab our ruler again, our pictorial ruler, and let's rotate. Oops. Crazy stars on the side. Let's grab this like so, and place this just at the bottom here. Now, we want to work out how many kind of steps are in here, but we already know, because it's going to be the same amount as the ones going upwards, because if you imagine, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we just need to mark out 7 different places. And you could do these uneven or anything like that. You could basically just do whatever you want with these, but we're going to make these even, and we can maybe even put a platform in the middle, so to just illustrate how flexible this way is. So we're going to line our ruler up, and it's at 7, okay, because that's how many deviations are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 we've got here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then if we grab our digital ruler, now if you're working traditionally, you just use the ruler that you've got measured out there. Okay, and let's draw a line from this very point here. Where's my... Okay, no, I did the same mistake again. Okay, so we've got our line coming right from this point here. It has to come from the exact point if you want it accurate. Then let's mark off the different markings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or whichever kind of measurement you wanted to do for this. You guys know. Right, and we wanted to put a platform in the middle. So what we'll do is we'll do like 3 steps, and we'll miss out 2 for a platform, and then 2. But if you think, if we do that, then there's going to be a gap here, and it's not going to get as high. So what we could do is, instead of having 7, we could go up to 9 to offset that platform. Now that's what I'll do, and if you don't understand what I'm saying, just follow along and it should make sense. There's going to need to be more, because there's going to be one long platform is what I'm saying. So let's miss out 5, for example. This one we're missing. Okay, so what we want to do is, you don't need to rub this out, I'm just going to rub out just to make sense. You need to drag this point here, your furthest point. If you wanted 7 without a platform, then it'd be this point here. What you need to do is you need to grab a ruler, like so. I can hide this ruler now. So it's that final point. So, where's our point? There it is. So we need to place this right on that far left edge, and place the other one so it goes past the horizon, but it needs to intersect this point here, this very back point. So let's just draw a line. Now, what we have is we have a temporary vanishing point. So all we need to do is we need to grab that point there. Okay, so I've just moved that. I didn't need to, but I was just demonstrating for you. That point there, if we trace these lines all back like so to this point here, we will split this up perfectly. So let's try that now. So we've got here, here. Now I'm not drawing all the lines because there's no point. Here, here, and as you can see, they're getting wider and wider as they get closer to the front because that's how perspective works. Got one that's pretty much vertical there. It was exactly vertical, I think. Like so. Now this is your points in which you need to split up the stairs. So we'll go ahead and do that. So we need a vertical ruler. We're not following the angle that was going to this vanishing point that we created there. That vanishing point now, for all intents and purposes, is useless. So just ignore that vanishing point that we just created, because it was just a temporary one. So we'll just go ahead, draw some lines up. And as you can probably already see, this is now just going to be connecting the dots to really find out where this staircase goes. So this is, oh, we wanted to miss out number 5, didn't we? I forgot about that. Which we'll probably have to miss out 2, won't we, for it to work. I think we went 2 extra. Okay, so they're the separations. Now, we wanted a platform, so let me count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so there's 2 extra. So if we could just miss out this one here. Okay, so we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, miss, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we're missing out these 2. Right, so let me illustrate that a little better. So our stairs are going to come up like this, like so. Then we're going to miss out 2, like this. Then we're going to keep following up until we hit right on the top, like that. So it's actually going to be 3 squares, but if you imagine, we're only missing out 2 because this is 1 step. So we're missing out those 2 in the middle. So what I'll do is I will go over these in a red pen at the end, just to really illustrate the point. So what we need to do now is we need to think about this side. Okay, so we've only got half the staircase done. So all we need to do is we just need to drag these points across to the left-hand horizon line. Let's get that right. It's in there somewhere. It's close enough for what we're doing today. So we're just tracing these lines back like so. In fact, what I'll do these in a different colour. I'll do these in a bit of a grey colour, so it stands out from the original lines that we had. This one is going to actually intersect perfectly on that line. But that's just fluke. It's not always going to be like that. It depends on the distortion and the size of the box and things like that. Okay, so as you can see, we're finding points now in which we are just, like I said, all the work was done on that vertical line that came out on the bottom. Everything else is just connecting dot to dots. Right, so we don't actually need to do that one and that one, because they're the platform. There we go. Let's trace that one back. Nearly done now. It's literally just connecting stuff now. Don't need to do any more measuring. There we go. So as you can see, with perspective and measuring, you get a lot of lines and it becomes quite confusing. So if at any point you can simplify it by using different colours, or you're putting things on different layers if you're working digitally, then it's really going to make things appear a lot quicker. So what I'll do is at the end I'll go over the joining of all the dots in a red pen, but I'll do it in super speed. So because that we've done all the complicated side of things now, we just need to worry about the super speed. So another thing that we need to really do to work out these positions. I mean, you can eyeball it and work it out, but we need to work this. We're doing this the proper way, so we need to trace all these lines back as well along the bottom. Let's just do that quick. And this is just, in fact, what will make sense. So let me do that in another colour again. I normally do things in one colour because I kind of know where I'm putting things and can make sense with it, but working on 2 layers or 3 or 10 layers and using different colours can really be a benefit. Obviously that's not a benefit to the people working traditionally, but there is a lot of benefits to working traditionally when working with perspective. There's a lot better rulers and things are a lot easier actually. Traditional. One of the few things where they are. So all we need to do now is we need to grab our vertical ruler, like so, and we just need to find these points here, the light points, and connect them to the dark points, and they should all line up on the vertical. So let me create like a dark blue, saturated-ish dark blue. So as you can see, we've got this point here where the light point that we just created intersects with the original blue, and then the point in which we're going to stop is when it hits this dark blue line. So we've got this kind of thing, like so, and then we just need to keep going across. Oops. Okay, so we've got another light line, which was done this one, so it's this one here. Follow that back. Where that hits, we're joining it up to the next dark line, okay, which is right there. In fact, we want to go 2 up, don't we, because it's the second step, like so. Then we want to go 3 up and 4 up, etc. So that line was one that fell pretty much on this. Oh, we've done that one. So this line here, it falls pretty much on here, like so. Going up to the next, but of course we're 3, if you remember. So we're going up. Next one, which is here, connecting up here. Because if you can see, we're going 1 higher each time with these lines. Now, is this where the platform is? In fact, I've done 1, 2 extra, but that's fine. So let's find the platform 1. Okay, so platform 1 is here, and this goes across to here. Okay, so that's going to be like that. Is that right? I think so. In fact, what we'll do is we'll just make it simple. Let's just make lines going all the way up. Then we can just join the dots later. So this may be looking quite complicated and full up to you at the moment, but don't worry. It's all we have to do now is we have to draw some lines back to this point and then connect everything. So everything's done now, within reason. Okay. Not sure why that just did that. About right. Okay, so let's go and connect these things. So we've got this first point here, which is where the black point is. We're going to connect that like so. So we're going back to this point here. Then, so we've got this point, which is our first step, if you like. Then we've got the next point, which goes up to here, but because we're going back in space, it goes up to here. So we just need to trace that back. So it starts there, then it finishes there. Okay. Let's just look. Something's not making sense now. So we've got one box there, two box here. No, two box starting here, isn't it? Going back to there. Yeah, the reason why it looked like it didn't make sense is because that line is pretty equal for them first two. Okay, so we're up on this second step. Then we need to be on. So if you see, I'm just tracing with my hand, with my pen, like, so we've done one step, we've done two steps. So we're on the third step here, which goes back to this point there. Oops. So we just need to trace that back, like so. As you can see, it's quite a pain to get perfect steps, because, like I say, there's a lot of construction lines involved. But as long as you're keeping track, and if you get lost, like I just did then, to be fair, if you get lost, then as long as you can work out where you need to be, then it's fine. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and if you remember, this goes back all the way to this point here, I believe. Then we start raising up again. So we go from this point here back to here, like so. Now, the perspective angle, because it's quite distorted, is not the best. Yeah, it's not the best, but it'll be fine enough. Right, so we've got that point that's going back to there, like that. Then we're raising this one up to here, so this point here. Now, if you can be as accurate as you can with your ruler and such, then it's going to make for a more appealing, more sensical image. There we go. So I think we're done now. Right, so what I'll do is, like I say, I'll go over things in red now. As you can see, I'm doing that right now. And I'm just I'm just basically going over the lines that we already created. So you can see just how that's done, but you can see that's sped up because there's no actual real thinking going on at this point. It's literally just connecting dot to dot. So as you can see, it's coming together a lot better now. Makes a lot more sense as a construction, as a set of stairs. And yeah, if you like this video, then tickle the down below, click the like button and click the subscribe button. There'll be a link in the playlist to my perspective videos. There's quite a few on there. And yeah, if you subscribe, then there's videos coming out every weekday, Monday to Friday, on things like perspective, cartoon drawing, construction, painting, color theory, realism, portraits, caricature. There's a bunch of things that I've got in the pipeline coming up. So, like I say, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed this video, let me know. And yeah, brilliant. So I shall see you next time. So until then, take care. Bye-bye.